Today we have a show for you, and I first want to introduce the Peace Poets. They're a Bronx band who is making music for our movement. You may know their song. Please sing along. Thank you, everyone.
When I say people, you say power, people.
Power.
People.
Power. When I say we want, y'all say justice. We want justice. We want justice.
When I say we are, you say rising. We are.
Rising.
We are.
Rising. When I say we are, y'all say beautiful. We are.
Beautiful.
We are.
I say peace to the poets who propagate peace, who have to protect life because war is a beast and the war on the streets have got the poor on a leash. Right now there are people dying to eat, but like Zapata, we don't live on our knees, we die on our feet, we riot the streets. We don't sit down and complain. We don't sit down and complain. We are people of action. What we do is fighting for change. We represent peace because it's so critical. We represent peace because it's so spiritual. I say peace to the Be the Change movement. Movers in the front and the people who ain't moved yet. Don't forget, change is pursuing. Don't forget, chains take time to loosen. Don't forget, Malcolm X was a truant. I say peace, cause I've lost so many to violence. And I speak peace, cause I've lost many more to silence.
So I say peace to the poets who propagate peace. From the west side, baby, down south to the east. Rocking hard for your pops, mom's nephew and niece. Doing this out of love, because war is a beast. I say peace to the poets behind their bars like a convict. People thinking peace is the absence of conflict. It's really the ability to cope with it, to deal with it, to cry with it, to hope with it. We spit for all ages, grad school to third graders, in a mosque, in a church, from baptisms to satyrs. We spit to uplift the gift that God gave us, the power of the word, because we heard it might save us.
So we say peace to the poets who propagate peace, and power to the people who march in these streets, and word to the workers who walk in bare feet, and light to the writers who fight to get free. I see me in you, and you in me, in the streets of Cochabamba, taking back El Agua, rocking Sandinista parties when we took Managua, shook my fist in Nueva York, yelling no a la guerra, environmentalist to protect la tierra, and I'm a feminist, yo respeto mi madre, soy padre y bebé, the struggle of every day, abuelita y hijito, soy la gente que grita, el pueblo unido,
jamás será vencido.
el pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
I'm the people united and I will never be divided. I'm the people who riot and I will never be quiet. I'm the ones who rebel for those stuck in a cell. I'm the people who see we are not yet free. Cause I am the people and the people are me. Peace.
All right, family. How y'all doing? Y'all ready to sing with us? Yes. All right, so I want to teach you the words to this. And this is dedicated to all the indigenous communities who are frontline organizers who've been working on climate justice and are guiding us in the ways that we should walk in the good way. So if you could sing after me, if you could repeat after me. The ground is shaking. Because all the nations have come to say this land is native. And And we protect the water. And we honor the land. Yes, family. All right, sing it with us. It goes like this. The ground
is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. See, the ground is shaking.
The ground is shaking 'cause all
the nations
have come
to say this land is native.
native
And we protect the water and we honor the land. All right, now you know it. Let's get it. Come on. The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. Let's go.
Come on. Right.
This is it, indigenous eclipse. Standing rock, got the whole spot lit. I wanna spit with the spirit of the water. I wanna fight with the heart of the Okada. 'Cause I got history flowing in my lifelines. Raise fist, humble heart, and the right mind. Y'all know the right line. Let me hear my people say, stop the pipeline. Stop the pipeline.
New York, raise your voice high up in the sky. See the rain coming down, wash away all the lies. Feel the pain of the land when you look in our eyes. Know when we take a stand, bet the Jews gon' rise. Be wise, got the elders we love. Here to tell you we here. Steady building, we rock this for our children. Come together with a vision for a better day. Hands high, let me hear you say.
The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land. Sing that.
Is native
And we, come on,
protect
the water and we sing it loud.
honor the land.
Right,
Come on.
Right. Us ain't call for meditation. They got soul on the rotation. Put the freedom on the stations. We are forming a new nation based on justice and forgiveness and rehabilitation. But if you decide to share, you can join the conversation. How in practice we gon' get with operations. It's gonna take patience, but the prophecy is ancient. 'Cause every breath you take is a holy invitation.
Yes,
Peace poets from the belly of the beast.
PX.
In New York, felt the shaking in the streets. It breached like a tree, breaking the concrete. We heard the cries of our mother in her sleep.
Come on.
Saying black snake lying through his teeth. Wild mankind sowing what it reaps. But we listen to the sacred courage and patience. Protecting this earth is true liberation.
The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come
Come on.
to say this land is native and we protect the water and we
Honor the
and we protect the water and we honor the land. Beautiful family, right now there's an unrecognized tribe called the Winnemem Wintu, following the river upstream. They are following the path of the salmon. They are following a prayer. They are following a dream. And you might not know it yet, but we are following them. We are following the indigenous people who have been striking for hundreds of years.
Say that.
So what does it mean to strike with the tribes in the Amazon? What does it mean to strike with the protectors on Mauna Kea? What does it mean to students? What does it mean to artists? What does it mean in your heart? What does it mean with your life? What does it mean with your breath to join people who every day are facing death? My people, I'm here to tell you that a one-day strike will not change this system. That we need to learn from those who are sacrificing everything. So if we, right here in this park in New York City, if we are ready to escalate this strike, say we are ready.
We are ready.
If you are ready to follow the leadership of the front line, I need y'all to say, we will pause and listen.
We will pause and listen
to indigenous wisdom.
to indigenous wisdom.
The strike is the beginning
The strike is the beginning
of tearing down this system.
of tearing down this system.
We're gonna do that. We thank you. We are the Peace Poets. We love y'all.
Hello, everyone. How are we feeling today? So, people in the front, I'm so glad to see all of your beautiful signs and all of your beautiful faces. But if we could hold those signs down a little bit so we can get photos of all of our amazing speakers and performers, we'd appreciate that so much. If you have a disability, including a hearing disability, come over here, stage right. There is a section reserved for you to make sure you have the best and safest experience possible. My name is Grace Goldstein. I am a Stuyvesant High School student. Yeah, great school. I am a core organizer with Fridays for Future New York City and the New York City Climate Strike Coalition. I am New York State Director for U.S. Youth Climate Strike. Well, if you didn't know who the Peace Poets were, you're not going to forget now, right? No one here. Yeah. Everyone's going to follow them on Instagram as soon as this is over, I'm sure. Now we're going to hear from somebody else who also uses her gifts as a musician to create songs for... No, not who you think it is, but also a very amazing person. Who uses her abilities to create songs for the indigenous movement. It is my honor to introduce Brazilian indigenous activist, Artemisa Barbosa Ribeiro. Thank you.
falar meu nome, eu gostaria de agradecer por essa marcha maravilhosa e pela força imensa que vocês têm.
Before speaking on my behalf, I would like to thank you for this wonderful rally and for your immense strength.
Meu nome é Artemisa Chacriabá. Eu tenho 19 anos, sou do povo Chacriabá do Brasil. Estou aqui hoje representando os mais 25 milhões de indígenas e comunidades tradicionais da Aliança Global de Povos Territoriais.
My name is Artemisa Chacriabá. I am 19 years old and I am from the Chacriabá people in Brazil. I am here today representing the more than 25 million indigenous and traditional communities from the Global Alliance of Territorial Communities.
Essa aliança é formada por 4 organizações: a PIB do Brasil, COICA da Bacia Amazônia, a MPB da América Central e a AMAN da Indonésia. Juntos, protegemos 600 milhões de hectares de florestas.
This alliance is formed by 4 organizations: a PIB from Brazil, COICA from the Amazon Basin, AMPB from Central America, and AMAN from Indonesia. Together, we protect 600 million hectares of forests.
Mas também estou aqui como jovem, porque não existe diferença entre uma jovem ativista indígena como eu e uma jovem ativista sueca como a Greta. Nosso futuro está conectado pelas mesmas ameaças de crimes ambientais.
But I am also here as a young woman, because there is no difference between an indigenous young female activist like myself and a young indigenous female activist like Greta. Our future is connected by the same threats of the climate crisis.
A Amazônia está em chamas.
The Amazon is on fire.
A Amazônia se agoniza em fogo, anos após anos, pela irresponsabilidade do governo e suas políticas destrutivas que intensificam os matamentos e secas. Não só a Amazônia, mas nos outros 5 biomas brasileiros.
The Amazon agonizes year after year for the irresponsibility of the government and its destructive policies that intensify deforestation and droughts, not only in the Amazon, but in the other 5 Brazilian biomes.
Isso reflete nas mudanças do clima e faz o fogo ficar cada vez mais forte. E, para além da Amazônia, há as florestas da Indonésia, da África, Mesoamérica, que sofrem impacto na minha vida e na vida de todos vocês.
Climate change is a result of this, and it also helps to make the fire stronger. And beyond the Amazon, there are the forests of Indonesia, Africa, Mesoamerica, whose suffering has also an impact in my life and in your life.
Nós, povos indígenas, somos o filho da natureza. E é por isso que estamos lutando pela Mãe Terra. Porque a luta pela Mãe Terra é a mãe de todas as lutas.
We, the indigenous peoples, are the children of nature. So we fight for our Mother Earth. Because the fight for Mother Earth is the mother of all other fights.
Lutamos pelas nossas vidas, pelas suas vidas, lutamos pelo nosso território sagrado.
We are fighting for your lives. We are fighting for our lives. We are fighting for our sacred territory.
Mas estamos sendo perseguidos, assassinados, ameaçados por proteger o nosso território.
But we are being persecuted, threatened, murdered only for protecting our own territories.
Não podemos aceitar que seja derramada nenhuma gota mais de sangue indígena.
We cannot accept a single more drop of indigenous blood spilled.
Como jovem, a minha luta é pelos direitos indígenas, pelo meio ambiente e contra as mudanças do clima. Mas também é por um futuro que eu mereço, com o qual eu sonho. Um futuro que todos nós merecemos.
As a young woman, my fight is for indigenous rights. the environment and against climate change. But it is also for a future that I deserve and with which I dream, a future that we all deserve.
Com as tecnologias e com o conhecimento que temos hoje, sobretudo a ciência dos povos indígenas e dos não indígenas, nós podemos e devemos evitar as mudanças climáticas e, ao mesmo tempo, criar um futuro para todos, um futuro melhor para todos.
With the technology and knowledge we have today, especially the science of indigenous and non-indigenous peoples, we can and should avoid climate change while creating a better future for all.
Somos os guardiões da floresta, os guardiões do carbono que está nessas florestas. Se elas se forem, esse futuro com o qual eu sonho não será possível.
We are the guardians of the forest and the guardians of the carbon that is stored in those forests. And if they are gone, the future that I dream of will be gone as well.
Povos indígenas, usando seu conhecimento tradicional, alertam o mundo há décadas sobre as mudanças que estão acontecendo no planeta.
Indigenous people using traditional knowledge have been warning the world for decades about the changes taking place on the planet.
A ciência moderna, enfim, concorda com nós indígenas que temos a solução, mas também muita gente não quer ver esse futuro acontecer e é por isso que precisamos unir, é por isso que precisamos de força.
Modern science finally agrees that we, indigenous peoples, have the solutions. But there are lots of people that don't want to see this future happening. That is why we need to come together as one.
Não temos que esperar. Não há por que esperar.
You should not wait. There is no reason to wait.
Não podemos perder um segundo para a transformação e ação de palavras que têm o poder de fazer essas mudanças acontecerem.
We cannot waste another second before we turn into actions that have the power to make the change happen.
Precisamos mudar os nossos pensamentos e até mesmo mudar quem está no poder de braços cruzados e junta com essas empresas, bancos e fundos de investimento lacrando com a destruição do planeta. Aliás, muitos deles estão bem aqui do nosso lado, esses prédios aqui, ó.
We need to change our thoughts and even change those who are in positions of powers with arms crossed or supporting companies, banks and investment funds profiting from the destruction of the planet. In fact, many of them are around these buildings right here with us.
O futuro que nós merecemos não pode continuar nessas mãos que querem negar os nossos sonhos.
The future we deserve cannot continue in the hands of those who want to steal our dreams away.
Nossas lutas duram 500 anos.
Our fight has lasted 500 years now.
Nós não vamos desistir.
We will not give up.
Estou aqui hoje para unirmos. E se adultos em política, negócio e economia não têm sido capazes de resolver essas crises climáticas unidas, a juventude tem o poder de mudar o futuro.
I'm here today to ask you to stay united. If adults in politics, business and economics has not been able to solve the climate crisis, the youth united has the power to change the future.
Obrigada e juntos somos fortes. Demarcação já!
Check, check. So we have a child without a parent. So we're making an announcement, if you can quiet down for a second. Sophia Lewis has lost her parent. If you are the parent of Sophia Lewis, Tatiana Lewis, please come to the backstage. Tatiana Lewis. Thank you.
Her mother is here. We're all good. All right. What is up, New York? How are we doing, New York? Woo! So as you can see, we are flooding out of Battery Park. This is incredible. Give yourselves a hand. Woo! 5 million youth and adult allies striking across the world today. We are making history. My name is Natalie Sweet, and I'm a core organizer for this strike and for 0 Hour. I'm here to introduce two wonderful speakers and two amazing friends who are here today to share their story as Frontline Youth. Please welcome Kevin J. Patel and Isabella Falahi, incredible organizers and friends.
Are we sharing? How are we all doing? Well, hello, my name is Isabella Falahi, and I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Kevin J. Patel, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. The climate crisis is the single greatest issue of our time.
We have only 11 years left for politicians and world leaders to act to ultimately determine the future of our world.
To determine the fate of our generation and generations to come. To determine whether we live or die. We are in the fight for the future of not just the planet, but for all of humanity. The climate crisis isn't just about the future, but it's about our lives.
It's about the lives. It's about the air we breathe, the water we drink, the homes that turn to ash, the people who are washed out to sea. It's about those who are diagnosed with cancer and asthma as a result of this crisis. This crisis is about people like me. As a proud and unapologetic bisexual Latina, it's hard to see so many members of my community being disproportionately affected by the climate crisis, as I am diagnosed with asthma. I wake up at night with the feeling that I'm drowning, struggling to catch my breath. I can't scream for help, but hear me scream now. Hear me scream that my home state of Indiana is ranked 46 for air quality. As a result, that it's one of the top coal producers in the nation and second for coal consumption. Hear me scream that my senators, Senator Todd Young, has accepted $546,346 from the oil and gas industry. Hear me scream that Senator Mike Braun, who was just elected only in 2018, has received $184,763 from oil and gas. They are the reason why I have to take 3 different types of medication. They are the reasons why neighborhoods in Indianapolis are plagued with COPD, cancer, asthma, and heart difficulties. Their complacency is killing me. It's killing us.
I, too, face the devastating effects of the climate crisis. When I was in 6th grade, I was diagnosed with heart palpitations as a result of living in Los Angeles, one of the most air-polluted cities in America. I recall spending most of my middle school years in and out of the hospital. My parents were scared for me, and still are to this day. Now that I have graduated from high school and am on to college, I still notice that my community, the place that I call home, is being destroyed by the very thing that caused my issue. The state of California, is known to be the bluest state in America, but yet we are still affected by wildfires, droughts, and heat waves. And having communities where some of my friends and family members live near oil refineries, being affected day in, day out, that is not an excuse to not act on the climate crisis. It is not the communities of the rich and affluent Los Angeles that are affected by the climate crisis. It is the low-income communities of color that are. I, too, want my Senator, Dianne Feinstein, to hear my voice as we as youth are dying. While you may not support the Green New Deal, it is what's necessary. It is what the youth demand.
This isn't an issue of party, Democrats versus Republicans. This is a human rights issue, and both parties alike are guilty. They are guilty of staying silent in the face of a burning world. Politicians don't simply get a medal for believing in facts. because simply believing has never done anything for our communities.
Oftentimes in our fight for climate justice, the climate movement and media tend to leave out the voices of frontline youth and youth of color.
But we are here to say that we will no longer be silenced into submission by the media or the climate movement because it is ultimately benefiting Exxon, Chevron, and the Koch brothers who want us to stay silent. They know our power. They know that we are a threat. And for the politicians who sit in their fossil fuel funded thrones on Capitol Hill, mark my words, the youth are coming. Our voices and stories are crucial to exposing the fossil fuel industry for what it really is, which is an industry that profits off of human rights abuses.
Our voices and stories will mark the pages of history books for years to come. We are the youth who took our pains and struggles and said that we refuse to be the last generation. We refuse to see our communities being destroyed for corporate profit.
While little actions matter, what we need is a revolution. Because we are running out of time, frontline communities are out of time, and we need climate justice now.
Frontline communities are here to lead the fight. We are here to take back the lives that were stolen from us. We don't have a hidden agenda. We simply want to live.
We are leading this fight because we can see through the bullshit and the lip service that politicians give us, because they don't want to tell us to our faces that my wallet is more important than your life and your community. We are not afraid to call it like it is, because we have nothing to lose. You have already stolen our childhoods, our health, our safety, our homes, but we will not let you take our future.
Together, we will unite to be the last generation that changes the United States of America. We will be the generation to change the fate of the planet, because we are tired of hearing the same discussions about solutions when we already know what must be done. We must act on the climate crisis. We don't have time to left ignoring the facts that the Amazon is being burnt or that pipelines are being built within indigenous communities. Having the climate crisis affecting our communities, our generations, and future generations to come isn't something I want. I don't only want politicians to hear the science, but I want them to act on the science. The climate crisis is a fact of life that people in Los Angeles and cities around the world are experiencing with every day. It isn't just a grave threat to our environment, but our health, to our communities, and it shouldn't be debatable.
We have one last message to Congress and the White House. I am no longer asking for permission to live. I am demanding it. We are demanding it. The youth are here, and we are about to call the shots on our lives.
You are either with us in this fight or you're against us.
We are here as proof that frontline communities will overcome, that you have failed in silencing us. We are the leaders of now. We are the leaders of the future, and one day it is us who will fill the seats of Congress and the White House.
Thank you so much.
What's up, New York City? All right. My name is Alessandro Daban. I'm one of the core organizers with Fridays for Future NYC. I'm here to introduce the CEO of Ocean Collective and founder of Urban Ocean Lab. She is a marine biologist, policy expert, and Brooklyn native. Please welcome Dr. Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson.
Hello, New York City! My name is Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson. I am a 39-year-old climate activist. I'm honored to follow the youth leading these climate strikes, and I want to encourage all of us to approach the climate crisis with the moral clarity of children. Some things are simply right, and some things are simply wrong. It is wrong to make this magnificent planet unlivable. It is wrong for fossil fuel corporations who got us into this mess to continue to profit while they set the world on fire. It is wrong to drive 1 million species extinct by changing the climate, destroying habitats, and dousing the planet with pesticides. It is wrong to create hundreds of millions of climate refugees and then close our borders when they seek shelter on our shores. It is wrong to force the most vulnerable to bear the heaviest climate impacts, from rapidly rising seas to expansive fires to more dangerous storms to enduring droughts to frequent floods to unbearable heat. It is wrong. Do not forget what we are up against. In 1977, Exxon knew. And so far, the Trump administration has rolled back 85 environmental protections, including many on emissions and drilling. Just this month, they announced plans to ditch energy efficiency rules for light bulbs, revoke California's authority to set auto emission standards, open the Arctic to drilling, and reduce protections for wetlands whose soil can hold 5 times more carbon than the soil of a rainforest. Not to mention disbanding scientific advisory committees and telling federal government scientists to omit the words climate change from their work. And the list goes on. On the other hand, it is right to charge ahead full speed toward 100% clean renewable energy. It is right to protect habitats and species. It is right to hold corporations accountable. It is right to ensure a just transition, leaving no one behind as we transform our economies and societies. It is right to enact strong government policies that will accelerate this transformation. We need a Green New Deal! But let's be clear. Youthful moral clarity is not the same thing as naivete. Don't let anyone tell you that it is. It is naive to focus only on what we can do as individuals instead of what we can do together in community. It is naive to assume that the needs of poor communities, communities of color, and indigenous peoples will be taken care of unless we ensure that they are prioritized. It is naive to expect that governments and corporations will do the right thing without our insistence. So we must persist in our insisting because, remember, they work for us. It is naive to think we can solve or stop climate change. We have already made way too much of a mess. But it is also naive to give up when every 10th of a degree of warming, every centimeter of sea level rise, every species we save, every increasingly unnatural disaster we avert, all matter so very much. And we already have all of the solutions we need, from regenerative farming to renewable energy to replanting ecosystems to electrifying transportation. We don't need to wait for new technologies. We just need to get to it. Where national governments fail to step up, local, city, and state actions are even more important. At the same time as we work to erase the political and corporate barriers, we can implement the solutions we have at our fingertips. If you have even a small bit of land, plant trees and grow food, plant a climate victory garden. If you can vote, vote in every single election. In the last presidential election, around 10 million registered environmentalists failed to vote. More than enough to flip the outcome. Do not let that happen again. If you have special skills, put them to use. Make art to inform and inspire. Use law for climate justice. Create websites to help us organize. Cook meals to nourish activists. Throw parties to build community. If you have money or hours to spare, donate it to groups like Youth Climate Strike, 0 Hour, Extinction Rebellion, and Sunrise Movement. If you eat and feed others, choose foods that are grown regeneratively, restoring carbon in the soil where it belongs. And continue to show up and raise your voices. We have to transform culture. So talk about climate change with your friends, colleagues, neighbors, church, school, sports team, family. We cannot mobilize at the scale we need to unless we face this existential challenge head on, together, with clarity, grounded in science and empathy, and focused on solutions. Building community around solutions is the most important thing. We must build a coalition so massive that we shift the status quo and no longer need to march. In 1967, here in New York City, Dr. Martin Luther King gave a speech against the Vietnam War. And those remarks could not be more apt for this context and this moment. So I will close with Martin Luther King's words. We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. Procrastination is still the thief of time. Over the bleached bones and jumbled residue of numerous civilizations are written the pathetic words, too late. There is an invisible book of life that faithfully records our vigilance or our neglect. Now let us begin. Let us rededicate ourselves to the long and bitter but beautiful struggle for a new world.
Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. There've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. How's everybody feeling today?
My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm the youth director of Earth Guardians. I'm out here representing our generation. We just got to count. There are 250,000 beautiful people standing in solidarity for our future. And without further ado, I want everybody to make some noise for one of the icons and leaders of our generation, Jaden Smith!
too much. Screw your bags. I knew that you were in lies. I'm in physics class. I knew that you were the eyes. She got too much show. Wait, what if I do it all that? Let's talk to Elon last week. I told him I whip too fast. 120 on the dash. All by never crash. Lynch spins on the map. Drop hits, that's that. Tail hit me with a pass. Switch.
Niggas wish I never rapped.
Play this shit in the club for me, for me, for me. Cause if you were there, then I'll be the one that you never see. Let me go put on my cleats, the way that I get up and run to the streets. Harry like Bon Appetit, they saw us and went to go call the police, yeah. Damn, just put a hydrogen whip on a leash, yeah. Hey, trying to make sure that I leave a good one for my niece. That's just me. We don't need you on the team, we pay too many fees. They told me travel light where we go on overseas. It's just one night, I'ma bring the whole fleet with me. Play this shit in the club for me, for me, for me. If you were there, I'll be the one. You never
see I'm ghost. Iller than most.
I've been behind the scenes, I've been watching the ropes. She put her hand on my neck, she on the slopes, ice. Why you put so much space in the flow? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's. When I wanna grow, I listen to Hove. Take notes. Look at the case, close it. Open the doors, look at my neck, look at my frozen. Look at the pants dripping, swag.
Know that you stole it.
Play this
shit in the club for
me, for me, for me. If you were there, I'll be the one. You never see I'm ghost. And I'm ghost, yeah, yeah. Iller than most, what? And I'm ghost, yeah, yeah. How about a ghost, what? And I'm ghost, yeah, yeah. I'm iller than most, what? It go like this. Repeat after me. Change the world. Change the world. Change the world. We gotta change the world. New York City, make some noise. We gotta change the world. We gotta do something different. We gotta leave a good world behind for our children. We gotta create an impact. We gotta change people's minds. We gotta show people that we really care about this. There's 250,000 of us out here right now. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So thank you guys so much. And this next song that I'm about to perform really goes to show what we all have to be in this world and in the environmental community in order to make a difference. So run that next one for me. Change the world! Change the world! Whoa! Whoa! What you call an icon living? Start a record label, Miss just did it. Whoa! Nylon cover 5 minutes. Whoa! We are too hot in the business. Whoa! About to make a movie independent. Need new trucks independent. I need you to listen to the vision. All your verses sound like dirty dishes in it. I'm about to clean them in the kitchen. And we making money by the minute. I'm about to do it way different. You're just an icon living, better know. You're just an icon living. Icon living. You're just an icon living. I am just an icon. I am not a mind, I'm a menace. It's wild, take a lot like a professor. I don't got the time to put you on a stretcher. I am here and I still. I am just an icon living. Start a record label, Miss Fish just did it. Whoa! I start pepper 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last verse before the award show. Icon tatted on my torso. Me and Moy dipping in a torso. I ain't even taking on torso. Down. My last girl signed a divorce, so now I'm focusing, we about to all blow. We just trying to make the whole crowd go nuts. What? We don't know no one like you, huh? No eyes, misfits, no typos. We just wanna make you go psycho. Put $100,000 in the Bible. I took the game with my eyes closed. Last verse before the award show. Me and Moy dipping in a Porsche, what? I ain't even taking on torso. Your shit is fire, I'm also what? Young Jane down on the floor, so she wrote my heart to the torso. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just an icon living. Start a record label, Miss Fish just did it. Interview, cover 5 minutes. Whoa, we are too hot in the business. I'm going straight to the top of the code. We should just chill and maybe take it slow. But we get up there with nowhere to go. Chillin' to look at it. Woo! Damn, load a yellow rose into a rifle. Psycho, put 100,000 in a Bible. Gold teeth dance like Michael. Lipo over all the cutting in a Tyco. Damn, about to make a movie independent. Need new trucks independent. I need you to listen to the vision. All your verses sound like dirty dishes in the sink. I'm about to clean them in the kitchen. And we making money by the minute better. I'm about to do it way different. You are just an icon living better. No,
I am just an icon living. Icon living. I am just an icon living. I am just an icon.
Yo, hey, you're just an icon living. You're just an icon living. You're just an icon living. Let's go. New York, make some noise. Repeat after me. Heal this earth. Heal this earth. Heal this earth. Heal this earth. Make some noise, New York. This next song is really important to me because as I've just been getting older and older, I'm just feeling the summers have just been getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and warmer and warmer and warmer. And this is something that we really need to pay attention to as a community and be aware and know that these have been the hottest summers ever recorded in human history. And we have to know that. And we have to understand our environmental impact on this earth and really make a difference. So without further ado, please run that next one for me. Summertime is spent to fall in love. I could fall asleep in stereo right or dance all night. Summertime is spent to fall in love. I wrote you a poem for your surprise. It's right by your side. Top off. When I'm not with you, I feel awful. She likes my dear, she say I'm thoughtful. I'm horizontal in a web. It's because of you I can exist, I swear. I just don't wanna get my heart broke. This path is mine, I know it. This path is mine. I'm asking for your love. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I could fall asleep in stereo right. That's all night. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I wrote you a poem for your surprise. It's right by your side. I hop out. I hop out. I don't wanna go home. I hop out. I hop out. I don't wanna go home. Summertime is meant to fall in love. Teardrop on my neck is off the first night. Sorry, honest, you need to hear my side of the story this time. Get low, the highs and more. Still at home, reading for a centerfold. Love is simple, it's all good till the crescendo. Till they wake up and switch, we play Nintendo. That's why when that sun sets, I just stare at the window. Summertime is meant to fall in love. You all look so beautiful out here today. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I wrote you a poem for your surprise. It's right by your side. up. Everybody hands up. Fall asleep and stare in your eyes, or dance all night. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I wrote you a poem, boy, you're surprised. It's right by your side. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I could fall asleep and stare in your eyes, or dance all night. Summertime is meant to fall in love. I wrote you a poem for your surprise. It's right by your side in the summertime. New York City, thank you so much. Heal the world. Heal the world! We love you guys. Let's keep turning up all day.
Hello, New York City! Woo! Give it up for Willow and Jaden! I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Today is going to be written into the history books. Today is going to be a catalyst for the future action that we're going to take. Today, all of us come together for the same goal of tackling this crisis that is affecting every single part of the world. Yeah. My name is Shie Bastida. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I strike for justice. I strike from my heart. I strike because everyone can make a difference, and everyone must. It is my pleasure to introduce you, my fellow brother, Shuteska, who is, woo! Woo! Shuteska is the executive director of Earth Guardians. He is in the Juliana versus government lawsuit. They are suing the government because they are violating our rights to a stable climate. Without further ado, please welcome Shuteska. Woo!
Yeah. Let me see your hands up. And show yourself out if you came to see something average. We came as a family, not an industry standard. I'd rather drown together than leave my fam behind. Without them, we wouldn't have this. I hope you can feel the magic. We live in life grounded, steady fun in the balance. Raised by warriors, ready for any challenge. You hype on the small swells. We were born to ride mavericks. This is the turning of the tides. There I was, 6 years old, my eyes wide open. I saw the storm, city swallowed up by the ocean. Humanity messed up, look at the world broken. I want to see the borders open. I wrote this music, it was something I found hoping. My generation finally seeing the web woven. Everything is connected, our generation was chosen to guide the way to the light. Yeah, this is our movement. Walk on the roads paved by every great leader of every revolution. We doing it our way. See, this is a celebration. If love is resistance, resisting is in our nature. We're short by the millions, people of every nation. Summit the highest mountain to prove to them we can make it. It starts right here, right now. Every one of you has light within. Now is the time to shine now. And hands up if you feel it too. See, this music is a movement. It's proof if you feel it moving you. Because the power of the people is more powerful than people in power. I believe that this will be our finest hour. Listen, New York City, the eyes on us from all over the world. I want to acknowledge the indigenous peoples of this land that are still standing in solidarity and fighting with us worldwide to defend our culture, our water, our people, our story. Our generation has reached the moment where it is our turn to tell our own story. For us to define the kind of future and the kind of planet we will pass on to those that will come. This is not about an abstract idea of 100 years down the road. This is about what we are experiencing today. This is about the marginalized communities, the black, brown, and indigenous brothers and sisters and relatives that are on the front line today, who are resisting with love and with prayer, with songs and with dancing, with culture and with art, to defend our water, to defend our children, to defend our lives. This is the moment and the movement of our lifetimes. Do you feel it? This is just the beginning. 250,000 people in 2019. Imagine what we would do 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. This is a pivotal moment in our history. And if anybody has a cell phone on you right now, I need you guys to take that out. And for immediate action that we can be taking after today in our lives, every single day, I want you to hit that. Create a new text right now on text EG. That's for Earth Guardians. Text EG to 484848. That's going to send you a link to download an app that can guide us towards transitioning our lifestyles and building bridges in our communities to help build a more sustainable Earth. Again, that's 484848. And text the word EG for the Earth Guardians, because now is the time when we are all building bridges regardless of who we are, the color of our skin, where we're from, the organization that we present. This is about humanity. This is about our future. And this is a moment we will be remembered for the rest of human history. And each and every one of you is a part of that, just as much as me, just as much as Jaden, just as much as Greta, just as much as Shie, just as much as every other leader who has paved the way for us to be here. For our ancestors, for those who have lost their lives already, for those that we have yet to defend and to protect. This is our time. Thank you.
Can you guys hear? Okay. So we have two things. The first one is that there are 2 missing children. If your name is Ariel Nui, please come behind the stage. Second missing child, Esme Kawanishi and mom Andre Sanders, please come behind the stage so we can return the respective children to their parents. Thank you. Second thing. So, my name is Azalea Danes. I'm 16. I'm one of the organizers here today. Thank you. And I would like to introduce amazing singer-songwriter and climate advocate, Willow Smith.
NYC! I hope those kids find their guardians. And I just want to say I'm so grateful to be here with you guys today. Just seeing all of you here is so inspiring. It really gives me hope. that we can turn things around. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Oh, and I'm falling into arms of naked truth. Oh, not surprised to see the sky and what I must do. Tell me how am I to feel? Tell me how. I don't know if I can deal. I need to scream it loud. Oh, and I'm falling into the arms of naked truth. Oh, not surprised to see the sky and know what I must do. Tell me how am I to fall? Tell me how. I don't know if I can tell. I need to scream it loud. Oh, and I'm falling. And I'm falling into naked truth. Had to drop the pick. Thank you guys. I wrote this song when I figured out that Donald Trump was going to be our president. It's called November 9th. And I just wrote it because I felt like that was a time where I just needed to put some love into the world and put some hope out there. So I thought this was a little fitting. Baby girl, I know you're tired. Don't let the world put out your fire. Take my hand, we shall see that sadness and anger aren't everything. Oh yeah, whoa, yeah. Baby boy, don't lose your sweetness. Don't let them say your humanity's weakness. Take my hand, you shall see. Suppression and anger's not everything. Little ball up in the sky, just know we'll sing and asking why. Little rock close to the void, it holds us together and endures our choices. Thank you guys so much. Again, I just want to say, creating community that is based on a foundation of an intention that is towards protecting and healing each other, protecting and healing our planet. This is what it's all about. And I just want to thank you guys for having that intention, bringing it here, sharing it with everyone around you, no matter if you know them or not. So just thank you and gratitude. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Hi everyone. How amazing was Willa Smith? Woo! Yes! All right, really quick, I just want to remind everyone that drones are not allowed here. Okay, we don't want to keep anyone in danger. Please do not fly drones. Thank you. My name is Jade Lozada. I'm a core organizer of this strike, and I'm very pleased to announce the next speaker, Rebecca Shabnam. She's a youth advocate for cafeteria culture. Her work is responsible for banning styrofoam in public schools in New York City. Woo! Yeah! And now she's working on the plastic bag ban. Everyone give it up for Rebecca! Woo!
I don't know how to follow up after that amazing performance, but hello, New York! So, the climate crisis is not an isolated matter. I am from Bangladesh, a country that exemplifies how interconnected the climate emergency is to racial justice and poverty. The crisis has already been brewing for decades in Bangladesh. Some of my most vivid childhood memories of Bangladesh are the few times a year when I'd come home from school on my uncle's shoulder because the floodwaters were too high. Talk to her? Oh. I can't hear.
Folks, we need a medic to the front. Medic right there. Medic center. We need 2 medics.
Oh, medic.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just take a second. Go that way. Where? You guys, I have a person that needs medic moving towards the sound equipment. Does somebody else need a medic? Right there.
2 medics. There's one over there and then one right there.
Okay, folks, we have medics coming. We need 2 medics to the front of stage ASAP. And everybody else, we're just going to take a quick pause while we sort this out. Thanks, everyone. One right here. If everyone can just listen up, if you're right here, right in front of the stage on your stage left, I need you to take 5 steps back. We'd like you to give the people that are needing medical attention a little space. If you need a medic, raise your hand. Medic right there. And if you're near a person that needs a medic and you're not directly helping them, please give them some space. Okay? Here's Rebecca. Rebecca from the top of the speech.
Thank you all for coming in this heat. I know you guys are probably tired and you've been walking for hours, but thank you so much for coming here. The climate crisis is not an isolated matter. I am from Bangladesh, a country that exemplifies how interconnected climate emergency is to racial justice and poverty. The crisis has already been brewing in Bangladesh for decades. Some of my most vivid childhood memories of Bangladesh are the few times a year my uncle would have to carry me on his shoulders because the flood waters were too high. As a child, it was terrifying to know that if I were to walk on my own, I would drown. And that was routine for us. But Bangladesh isn't just a synonym for disaster. It's a country of extremes. And just as most of us here see New York City as an exciting place to live, Bangladesh has an extraordinarily rich culture with delicious food, vibrant clothes, and brilliant doctors and engineers. Now, Bangladesh is on the brink of extinction. The country, with a population of 164 million people, is the same geographical size as the state of New York, with only 19 million people. That's 8.5 times more people living on the same amount of land. Just imagine that. Additionally, Bangladesh, a low-lying country, is experiencing extreme loss of landmass due to rising sea levels. 18 million people will be displaced and will suffer. No matter how small and insignificant these Bengalis may seem to the rest of the world, these people matter. Thank you. The sad truth is that for years, people have already been living with half their bodies soaked in water continuously. The Bangladeshi people recognize that their lives are slowly being washed away. They are the poorest of Bangladesh, the most vulnerable to human rights violations, and on top of that, have the least power to do something about it. They have no choice but to migrate to urban slums, only to experience more terrible, even life-threatening living conditions. The climate crisis is not just an environmental issue. It's an urgent human rights issue. Bangladeshi women are extremely vulnerable to post-displacement trafficking, magnified by the climate crisis. So let's give Bengali women the most basic human rights: protection from the right to freedom, and the right to live. We want Bengali women as well as the Rohingya people living in Bangladeshi refugee camps to know that youth around the world are striking for their lives and security. Human greed is fueling our oceans with the power to wipe Bangladesh off the map. We're almost out of time. The U.S. and developing countries coming to the UN Climate Action Summit must deliver action as big as this crisis. So just imagine what the world would look like if we keep coming together like this to demand change. So let's keep demanding. Thank you. Thank you.
Make some noise, New York City! Sorry for a little delay there, by the way, because our next speaker was busy reviving people. My name is Calvin Yang. I'm one of the main organizers for this amazing strike, and I am with Fridays for Future New York City. And for our next speaker, please put your hands together for Judy Sheridan Gonzalez, the president of the New York State Nurses Association. Thank you.
Oh, that was something. I guess you never know when you're going to need a nurse. But the lady seems to be doing okay. So, where are my nice nurses? Somewhere. This is an incredible crowd. So good afternoon, fearless youth warriors. I offer you all the love, admiration, and commitment that we, the 42,000 members of the New York State Nurses Association, bring to this historic event. And why do I say warriors? Because war has been declared on our planet by greedy corporations who see profit instead of people, who embrace destruction instead of sustenance, who are leading humanity down a path of total devastation. And we don't like that, do we? And we have to fight them with every ounce of strength that we have, right? So people ask me, why are nurses so concerned about the climate? What business is it of your union to get involved in something that has nothing to do with your profession? And we say it has everything to do with our profession, our union, our patients, and our future. Who do you think rescues and cares for victims of heat waves, causing untold death and serious heat-related complications, even when they're waiting at a rally? Wildfires, increasing in depth and severity as I stand here. Floods, leaving toxic molds, pneumonias, asthma, and heart damage. Droughts, causing unprecedented food insecurity, starvation, and malnutrition. Fracking, pipelines, bomb trains, diesel fuel exhaust, poisoning our air, soil, and water, nature's precious life-sustaining gifts to humankind. Super hurricanes and typhoons, killing off whole populations and towns in a single day, obliterating islands in the global south and leading to long-term illness, creating conditions for new bacteria and viruses to thrive. And all of these events lead to homelessness, depression, suicides, and massive emigration. They come to us, desperate, lost, suffering, terrified, asking, what happened? What kind of life can I look forward to now that I've lost everything? They come to us. When Hurricane Sandy hit New York, does everyone remember that? We woke up to the enormity of that storm, and as we cared for folks whose health and lives were upended by its impact, we knew we had a moral responsibility not only to treat the patients, but to research, comprehend, and take a stand against the causes of these climate catastrophes that were engulfing our world. Are we taking a stand? In the meantime, we formed collectives of volunteers ready and willing to go to disaster regions impacted by the deadly effects of climate change. We sent multiple teams to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands after Hurricane Maria. And now we travel all over the world to do what we can to mitigate the horrific impact of these events. And we saw with our own eyes where the bodies were buried in Puerto Rico, as there was no refrigeration in morgues and no roads and no fuel for transport. Imagine watching your mom take her last breath before your eyes because she couldn't get oxygen or a nebulizer for her emphysema, and then burying her body in your backyard. We saw this. And so our union, our nurses, will continue to work in our honorable profession inside the walls of our hospitals and in the mountainsides, the marshlands, the cities, and the jungles of our planet. But this work is only applying a Band-Aid to a gaping wound. Our planet is crying out to us to heal its wounds, to remove the cancer that is destroying the only body we have as a people, to save our world from its ultimate destruction. And we promise to work with each and every one of you, our youth, the unsung heroes of the universe. That's you. You hold the future in your hands and in your hearts, and we're standing by your side with our stethoscopes, with our voices, and with our own bodies and souls, because saving the planet is saving all of our lives, and saving lives is our business. One planet, one future, one world. Thank you so much. I've been asked to call for a moment of silence for all of the victims of these disasters who have lost their lives in the recent period. May we have some silence. Thank you. And as we mourn, you know what we say, what Mother Jones said? When you're finished mourning, organize. Thank you.
Hi everyone, how's it going? So first of all, I want to let all of you out there know that there is a water station over there because I want you all to stay hydrated so we can protest longer. So I heard our next speaker give an amazing speech at COP24 last December. She boldly told our world leaders, "You are not mature enough to tell it like it is." Even that burden you leave to us children. I learned she had been on strike every Friday since August of 2018. In front of the Swedish Parliament, demanding action from world leaders. I was so inspired by her that I made a sign that said "School Strike for Climate," and on Friday, December 14th, I joined her by going on strike in front of the United Nations headquarters. My name is Alexandra Villasenor, and this is my week 41 climate strike. Greta Thunberg is the catalyst of the Fridays for Future movement. She's an icon of our time and has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She traveled to New York City for this historic strike, riding in an emissionless boat and spending 2 weeks crossing the Atlantic Ocean. And now she is here with us today. What I want to tell you about Greta Thunberg, though, is that she is the nicest, kindest, most humble person I have ever met. It is my honor to introduce Greta Thunberg.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand by and by. Just look toward your destination. Though you may
Hello, New York City. It is an honor for me to be here with all of you today on this historical day. Thank you all so much for coming. I heard there were in New York, they're still counting, but at least 250,000 people. And around the world today, about 4 million people have been striking. We are still counting. So this is the biggest climate strike ever in history. And we all should be so proud of ourselves because we have done this together. So thank you so much. I have some numbers that I wanted to share. In Australia today, about 350,000 people striked for the climate. In London, about 100,000 people striked for the climate. In Berlin, it was about 270,000 people. In Dublin, about 25,000 people. In New Delhi, it seems like we need help in the audience.
Okay, we need another medic. It is by the camera. By the camera, that's the only camera that's raised. We need a medic. At the video tent. At the camera platform video tent, we need a medic. Can you guys get a medic? Okay, Greta, we're gonna... Back there? Yeah. Are you okay? Thank you. Okay, we're gonna wait a second and get this sorted and take care of this person. It's really hot out here today. Their crowds are bigger than expected, as Greta was just saying, so we just really appreciate your patience. And there is water over there. It's a really exciting day. I know people don't want to leave, but please, if you need to move, get water. reminder, if you are near the person seeking medical attention, please give them space. People are crowding, so please, I know we're a big, tight crowd, but please, please, please create space for the person seeking medical attention. Thank you. We are sending medics right now. They're on their way. The medics? Okay, great, thank you. Okay, and Greta, everyone.
I hope you are feeling better now and that everyone is okay. And yeah, there was some numbers, 1.5 million people in Germany alone. And there are so many numbers, it's hard to, but just to give you a look of how incredible this is. And so people are striking today in over 150 countries. On all continents. And when I say all continents, I mean all continents, even Antarctica. Even on Antarctica, people are striking. And we are not in school today. And this time, we are not alone. We have some adults who are not at work today either. And why? Because this is an emergency. Our house is on fire. And it's not just the young people's house. We all live here. It affects all of us. And we will not just stand aside and watch. We are united behind the science, and we will do everything in our power to stop this crisis from getting worse. Even if that means skipping school or work, because this is more important. Why should we study for a future that is being taken away from us? That is being stolen for profit. And some people say we should study to become climate scientists or politicians so that we can, in the future, solve the climate crisis. But by then it will be too late. We need to do this now. It seems like we have another situation. Yeah. We need another medic.
Okay. We need people to raise their hands. This person is behind. There's about 4 cameras right there, all in a row. The person's behind it. We're gonna have we're sending a medic now. And I want everybody to take a deep breath. If you are not feeling well, please go get water or get into the shade. I know it's a hot day. We're definitely going to send medics out right now. But please, everybody, check in with yourself. And if you need to get in the shade, please do so.
And what is the point of educating ourselves and learning the facts when the people in power refuse to listen to the educated and pay attention to the facts? Where I come from, things are very different than here. But when it comes to the climate and ecological emergency and the people in power, it is pretty much the same. In fact, everywhere I have been, the situation is more or less the same. The people in power, their beautiful words are the same. The number of politicians and celebrities who want to take selfies with us are the same. The empty promises are the same. The lies are the same. And the inaction is the same. Nowhere have I found anyone in power who dares to tell it like it is. Because no matter where you are, even that burden they leave to us teenagers, us children. And this Monday, world leaders are going to be gathered here in New York City for the United Nations Climate Action Summit. The eyes of the world will be on them. They have a chance to prove that they, too, are united behind the science. They have a chance to take leadership, to prove they actually hear us. Do you think they hear us? We will make them hear us. We have not taken to the streets, sacrificing our education for the adults and politicians to take selfies with us and tell us that they really, really admire what we do. We are doing this to wake the leaders up. We are doing this to get them to act. We deserve a safe future. And we demand a safe future. Is that really too much to ask? Right now, we are the ones who are making a difference. If no one else will take action, then we will. It should not be that way. We should not be the ones who are fighting for the future, and yet here we are. But we are not just some young people skipping school or some adults who are not going to work. We are a wave of change. Together and united, we are unstoppable. This is what people power looks like. We will rise to the challenge. We will hold those who are the most responsible for this crisis accountable, and we will make the world leaders act. We can and we will. And if you belong to that small group of people who feel threatened by us, then we have some very bad news for you. Because this is only the beginning. Change is coming, whether they like it or not. thank you once again, everyone who are here, everyone who showed up. And of course, a special thank you to everyone who have been organizing, all the local organizers who are here. We'll give them an applause. Thank you. And just a reminder that next week, the 27th, we will also be striking in many different places. So if you can, show up then as well. Thank you. We'll see you later.